Planet of the Fakes for Kids. And Pig Star HH News. Despicable gang poured boiling water on disabled teenager and made him sing Barbie Girl. He became a toy. The despicable gang who tortured a 17-year-old. Image, Nottinghamshire Police. Get the biggest daily stories by email. Enter your email. Subscribe. See our privacy notice. More newsletters. A disabled teenager was tortured by a gang of men, who stripped him to his underwear, poured boiling water over him and made him sing Barbie Girl. The shocking abuse was filmed by ringleader Brandon Welton, 23, who has now been sentenced to 16 years in prison. Footage of the abuse inflicted on the 17-year-old victim was played to the jury at Nottingham Crown Court. Brandon Welton, 23, showed no emotion as his sentence was explained -12 years and 9 months in prison, and an extended license of 3 years and 3 months on his release for causing grievous bodily harm with intent. Nottinghamshire Live reports. Judge Stephen Coupland told him in the dock, "I have no hesitation in deciding you are dangerous." Defendants Jake West, Luke West, James Cooper and Tony Cole pleaded guilty to false imprisonment. Brandon Welton, of Danes Close, Arnold, has been jailed for more than 12 years for his role in the C-crime. Image, Nottinghamshire Police. The video was only a small part of the torture and bullying, which went on for close to 3 hours last September. After all 5 defendants turned on the teenager, he became a toy, said Gareth Deemson, prosecuting. A plaything to be humiliated at will by these men, and the Crown would submit tortured. This was for fun. He was ridiculed, accused of being a snitch, and a grass and a thief. The Crown submit it was all nonsense, a pretext for a vicious and quite cruel act on this young man. The teenager was stripped to his boxer shorts and a tie placed around his neck. Welton punched and kicked him, stabbed him with a butter knife and urinated on him. He boiled a kettle and poured water over him 4 times. The victim was made to perform duties as a waiter, then lower his boxer shorts, and the tie was pulled tighter around his neck as he was directed to sing Barbie Girl by Aqua. Welton, of Danes Close, Arnold, put a knife to his throat and told him to sing along. He was frightened and plainly confused, added Mr. Deemson. He was told by Welton, "It will get harder, bro." Welton sent a Facebook message to a girl and then made a 50-second video call of the teenager stowed in his boxer shorts in a small cluttered kitchen, then crouched in a corner. The girl said he looked like he had been beaten up. Vehicle crime is increasing. Join our Facebook crime group. Welton's voice could be heard saying, "Get down and stay down." He told the girl, "This is what happens when you grass." The victim could be heard saying, "No, please stop," and the contents of a steaming kettle were emptied over him as he was screaming and crying. Welton sent her a further message to the girl, referring to someone called Matt, saying, "Tell Matt he's next." The teenager woke up the next morning and went for a walk. He did not return home until midnight, where his carer's partner realized he needed to go to hospital. He suffered 4% burns to his body, 1% of which were described as deep burns, and he had bruising and cuts. A victim impact statement revealed the teenager said, "The whole thing was frightening." When asked by a police officer what was frightening about it, he replied, "Getting kettled." And he said, "I felt like hanging myself, I was so scared." Jake West, a 25-year-old with learning difficulties of Pedmore Valley, Bestwood, pleaded guilty on the basis he was not present when the teenager was naked and being abused, but he could hear what was happening. The judge sentenced him to a 3-year community order, extended curfew, for 2 months from 7 p.m. to 7 a.m., 20 rehabilitation activity days and a 2-year mental health treatment requirement. "You took yourself away from what was happening," the judge told him in the dock. "Later you went back in the kitchen and saw water poured on him, and you didn't do anything about it." Luke West, 24, of Benedict Court, Bestwood, was told he was present when the victim was humiliated, stripped and forced to sing, and was one of those pulling the tie around his neck and saw water poured over him. Luke West, of Benedict Court, Bestwood, has been jailed for his role in the crime. Image, Nottinghamshire Police. He did nothing to stop what was going on or assist the victim, said the judge, as he jailed him for 3 years and 2 months. Second eldest of the group, James Cooper, 28, of Chichester Close, Top Valley, was there when Welton was being abusive and did nothing to help the victim. The judge noted he did not actively join in and was not present when serious violence was being used, as he gave him 3 years and 4 months in prison. Tony Cole, the eldest at 29, shouted at the naked teenager to sing and shouted and laughed at what others were doing to him. The judge took into account he did not inflict any physical injuries as he sentenced him to 3 years and 7 months. Like, follow, comment, share, subscribe, then visit